Above ground pool, in-ground pool, community pool, wading pool. Whatever kind of pool makes you happy and stay cool in the summer, we have a collection to help you record all those memories. Let's take a look. Hello, scrapbookers and creative friends. I'm Linda Petuch, Creative Memories Independent Advisor in Jupiter, Florida. Welcome to Thursday Thoughts. And today, this should be short and sweet. I just want to share with you the Poolside Paradise collection that Creative Memories has come up with for this summer. Has some beautiful papers, and this collection you'll see has some features that some of the others don't have. Let's dive in. See what I did there? Let's go. Well, my inspiration for this one was, of course, the collection itself. Poolside Paradise came with the paper pack, as always. We also have a beautiful little mat pack. Special embellishments this time, Poolside Paradise embellishments that you will see I used on some of my pages. And then, of course, our stickers. And I don't have much left with that. I did use the coordinated cardstock, and I added some other cardstock, which I'll talk about when I get to those pages. But it's a beautiful color palette, and in conjunction with this collection, they also released this Bubble Scallop border maker or border punch, which I just love. You know, this would be great not only for pool and beach and so forth, but tubby time, you know, that would be a good thing. Bathe in the for babies or baby babies, that would be a great thing to have. So that collection came with it. Now, because of the different designs that are on this collection, I decided to pull out a few other punches, and you may have this happy hour one that has the adult beverages. So I did punch that. I also, you know, we're talking about sun in the pool. So I did use my sun punch, my Adirondack chair. So if you have any of those, you might want to use them as well. Plus the citrus slice, I had to pull that out, and you'll see why I did in some of the collections. So let's take a look at the pages and borders that I created for you to see. I will start with double pages. So I have my double page spreads. These beautiful lanterns. That was one of the embellishments, laser cut embellishments. And I love this tile paper. This reminds me, of course, of the pool tile, large pool tiles and the colorful blue pool tiles. And you know me, I like to do folded page. So I did folded page here so you could, so we could use both of those tile patterns. This is about a 2-inch fold on this, and then I just tied it all in. The colors went beautifully together. These are two separate embellishments. This one that's like the bubble punch. Oh, you know what? We also had this bubble punch, the border maker cartridge. That also came. Man, I just realized I didn't make any more, but I did use it here. I'll have to make it up to you and make some, do some punching with that, because it looks very similar to that, the border maker cartridge punch. That is, here it is right here. Wait, I'm going to tell you right now what the name is. Wave Crest chain. That's that. And see, that's kind of the same idea on here. I apologize. I will use Wave Crest for some beach paper or something later. But in any case, here's this one. Have some nice beverages. This is an embellishment I put up on foam squares up here, and added these little stickers, little bubble stickers. And that, you know, kind of echoes the same thing as the lanterns. And this is on baby blue cardstock. Our next one. Dive into the party. This is the Tropical Waters cardstock. And on this one, I decided, this is a very cute but very busy paper with all the floats on there and the towels and sunglasses, all those things, flip-flops that you use around the pool. So I decided that I wanted to include it. Adds a lot of nice color, and so I did a little strip here, a little strip here, and this is the deep sea green strip of that. Sticker embellishments. Here's my little Adirondack chair that I punched. Red was not one of the colors, but I love red Adirondack chairs. I don't know, they just sing to me. So there's that one. very simple. Again, I haven't put any photo mats on any of my pages because I really think it leaves it more open and flexible for you just as a canvas to then decide what you want to put on there. Next one. Now here I use that Bubble Punch, and I did the border punch at the top and the bottom on this one, and I love this laser cut embellishment, kind of echoed that bubbly feeling. So I did that, added sun, swim, repeat up on foam squares. This is another strip of that little crazy busy paper that is so cute. And then added a Poolside Paradise, which is the name of our collection, and a nice place to be is beside the pool, especially on these very, very hot days we're having. This is the beige cardstock that these are on. Now, I was saying in my introduction that some of one of the features of this collection that's different from the others, you know, I love to make frames. Well, this particular collection had 2 different papers that had a pre-done frame for me, which I thought was really fun. So I did take advantage of that. But what I decided to do then is to go in 2 inches, and I cut this out. This is the flip side. Okay, do you see how I mitered it together there? This is the flip side of that. So I decided, yes, it had a frame and it had a secondary frame, but then I flipped the center of that just so that you could get all those wonderful messages and things in there. And then this was a mat that I cut and rounded the corners of it. This was another mat. I rounded the corners after I cut that as well, just so that it went together better. A couple of stickers to add a little more interest. And there's that. A lot of room for photos. Again, with my frame making, this is how I did this one. You can see this is where I added the punch for the beverages because I used that beverage paper on here. So initially I made a 12 by ½ inch frame. But I rarely do one that thin, but I wanted to still take advantage of the frame that was already here. So I did add a little touch with a ½ inch frame around the outside edge. And then I moved over here because inside this frame here, I measured, it was 10 inches inside. So that's what I did, was a 10 by ½ inch. So if you are interested in doing that, those are the measurements on that. A ½ inch, 12 by ½ inch frame, and over here a 10 by ½ inch frame. And that way you get that feeling for both. You have the outside frame here and your decorative outside frame here. But I think it's a really nice touch. And some of the drink fixins up here, little message at the top. But I thought that would be fun, so I could have a frame in a frame. Now this is just a single sheet. After I cut out this frame, the 12-inch frame, and I had the 10, once I did the 10-inch frame, I still had this piece left, and then I had these other strips from when I cut it down to 10 inches. So I decided I would make a single page on the island waters, and just made a corner arrangement out of that. And then here's my area for my photographs, little Poolside Paradise embellishment up in the corner, and we're good to go. And the last one I did, I was thinking about cutting and mitering this, and I thought, nope, I'm not going to do that. Instead, I had this strip of blue paper left, and I thought that would be really pretty to just put on here. These were embellishments. These little lounge chairs, chaise lounges, were embellishments. So I went ahead and put those at the base, added some plants by the side of the pool, and then just put that on there. Poolside is my best side, and then I had that ready to go. Now I want to show you my borders. Let's see how this will look as a base for my borders. So there was this citrus, this little citrus design, which I really like. But I have to tell you that in Florida, where I am, in southern Florida, citrus time of the year is not the summer. We can get citrus, and some of it still is on the trees in June. But for us, citrus starts in the fall and in the winter. So I don't really think of citrus that much in the summer, unless, of course, it's in a nice, refreshing drink. But I did want to go ahead and make a couple little cherries. Yeah, cherries, watermelon, those are all summer fruit for us. But I made this that could be a vertical or a horizontal. It's just a piece of canary cardstock, which was not on the list, but the canary goes beautifully with the lemons here. So I went ahead and did that. And then I had to pull out my citrus slice. You know, this citrus slice border maker cartridge, you may have that one. And I just picked up on the lemon, the limes, and the oranges. And I just made a much layered, 4-layered border that, again, could be horizontal or could be vertical. But I thought that would be fun. We must honor those citrus that make us feel so refreshed when we have our lemonade and other beverages. Okay. This one, I decided that I would make this. I'm going to move that out of the way. I decided I would make these little borders for here, and then I made a separate embellishment that then I can add to the page. Let your worries drift away. And I have these 2 little bird floaties on here, but I decided that I would make these. This is a sticker. It came with the sticker collection, and you know, I just lifted it up a bit to get the floaties underneath there so it fit there a little bit better. And then this mat I cut into an oval with the red. I cut the mat with the red blade, and then I cut the this is kind of a dusty rose pink, and then that matched this with the word worries, because I wanted to pick up on that. And then there's my embellishment to go with these borders. This was fun. I used the deep sea green, and I cut it with the wave blade on both edges. And I also cut this little mat with the wave blade. And then I did have to punch out one little golden sun, because girls just want to have sun. And then these could be used together. You could use them separately, but I think this would look really cute together. Good times and tan lines, because we're talking about the sun. A little refreshment, stay hydrated. That's important. And my last border, heat waves and pool days. And then we got the floaties just floating around. These, this is a sticker strip. And then these little bubbles are stickers as well. And the embellishments are stickers. And then the last thing I wanted to show you, you can do this. So this was a mat, but I cut it with the oval. And then I set it on another mat card, added some embellishments. But then that also creates a frame that then I could use for a photograph on a page. I don't think the other side works. No, it's kind of funky monkey. So we would only use this side. But still, out of that one mat, you get 2 uses. And you can do that with quite a few of them, like the other ones that I cut. But I hope that gives you some ideas. And there we go. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the Poolside Paradise, a little splash into that collection. If you have any questions or comments, please put them in the comments below. If you would like to visit Linda's Scrapbooking Station, you can check out my pre-made pages and borders there, and some other Creative Memories products that I have for sale as also. Thank you for subscribing and following me. I really appreciate your support. And I do have to give one public service announcement. We're talking about all these pools and everything, so I just want everyone to make sure that your little ones have had swim lessons, or that you're with them at all times with the pools, and that includes your fur babies. Make sure your fur babies know that if they were to fall into the pool, they know how to get out. Show them where the steps are. That's really important. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, happy scrapbooking. I have some pool time ahead of me. Goodbye for now.